manipulated into all sorts of painful positions and the strangest thing, I imagine you were still in it. Then I heard your voice. So I ran over to the machine. Frank! What are you?
Quick question. So does I like anime, but does Inuyasha and Sailor Moon count as anime?
Of course they count as anime. You asked that, I don't know about Inuyasha. I really didn't even know about Inuyasha until my sister told me a few months ago, and then I finally got on it, and my homeboy, he found out I was on it, and we just been turning up ass.
I think it's everyone.
How long it's been since you watched Sailor Moon?
Recently, I actually just bought the DVDs. I have all my girls, they love Sailor Moon. I bought all of them. Now they love, that's why I say there's an anime for everyone, because they love Sailor Moon.
20 videos out just because the universe supply what we all need. You know what I'm saying? It's really each other.
Yeah.
They know that. Or the corporations, whoever. I'm on the interview, huh? Boom, I gotta ask you this. OG days. Television. Buffy the Vampire, Angel, Charm, Dark Angel. Any of that? Was you on any of that? Felicity, anything?
Yeah. Well, when I was younger, we didn't have a television because we grew up kind of rough. So when I was adopted, like, I didn't even know, like, television was like a whole new thing. I never knew I could have all this type of entertainment. But I grew up in a very Christian household. So certain things I'm not even able to watch, like stuff with witchcraft and anything that says that it doesn't believe in God, the Son, and even Jehovah's Witness things, like, it's off. I can't watch any of that. So when I became a teenager and I began to explore these things, I was always drawn to it. I just had this thing in my mind and my brain that told me that there was just something different. Like I was just always connected to it. And I would sneak and watch Charmed, and I would watch Buffy, and I love Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I could watch that because it was a cartoon. I started watching all the shows, and even though the person that adopted me is like a pastor, and I grew up knowing the Bible, I was like, it was like you know how you learn all the positive, but there's always positive and negatives of everything. Like, not saying it's like either good or bad, because nothing is always
it's an energy.
So I've learned one side of all this thing, but it made me just so closed-minded to everything else because this is what I was taught. And so I didn't even have the room to accept any other religion and accept any other ideologies, accept anything from anybody else. And if anybody say anything different from what I said, I immediately closed off. They're wrong. And now I've learned that that's not how life is open. I've practiced Buddhism, I've Judaism, I've done like the spirituality, I've been a Jehovah's Witness, like I've just studied with so many, and it's just helped me to learn even more. I feel like the more stuff that I experience, the more I do learn about my own religion, my own self, about where I'm supposed to be in this world, what my job is in this universe, what my placement is, and what is really already set forth me. What am I ignoring for my own self? What am I ignoring from my past? The stuff that's actually supposed to help my future. Like, it just, I feel like my mind, like the Matrix, you know, the movie The Matrix, and all of a sudden it's like your mind opened up. I swear it was like my mind opened up, and they're like, you can't see the Matrix when you're inside of it. You only can see it once you rise. And like, once I got it's like I saw, it's just the world just looks different, like a rose-colored glass removed or taken on. Sometimes it depends on which mood I am in, spiritually and mentally. It started because I did like the little witchy stuff and stuff like that. That's literally where it all like began. I believe in herbs and manifestations and spirituality, and that there's a God inside of us, little G. I don't think big G. I believe that we are gods within our own right, and that's something that actually actually contradicts heavily with especially Black Christian religion. No God before me. There is no other God, which is like instilled into our heads. So this universe, it just argues. And if I tell even like my family now about me practicing spirituality, I can't even say like the stuff that I do with graveyard dirt and my crystals and stuff, because they like, oh no, the devil. So it just contradicts. And so I can't say one and then say I'm doing the other, because I can't say, oh yeah, I'm hot and I'm cold, because I'm really warm.
So tell me though, are you a sports fan?
I want to say I'm a sports fan, but I'm very like go team, like go anything Georgia. So I've been to baseball games. If I'm in a relationship, I watch football games or whatever sport that is, the basketball. It's true. So yeah, I mean, I will. I mostly I'm on my phone while the game is on, because I have games on my phone that I love to play. So I'll be at a bar on my phone, like, you know, the sports bar with some event or whatever game, whatever long 13th or basketball game number they're on for that. So I'm cheering right along, yeah. And then I can just kind of go between my phone and reality, my phone and reality.
What about your daughters? They ain't into no sports?
They are not into sports. They're into stuff that I put them into. So I've had them in dance, ballet, tap, jazz, anything dance related. I had them in gymnastics. I couldn't afford everything. So cheerleading. They were signing up for softball, but that was right before coronavirus hit. That was their dad's idea, not my idea. He said they were too girly. He was going to tough them up a little. So they were enrolled in softball. They just never went.
What attracted you to theater and drama?
I had like a really rough childhood. And one time when I was just in school, like I never really wanted to go home. So school was like my happy place. It was the place where I wanted to be. And one of the teachers was like, she loved the way I speak and she loved my stage, like my presence in front of people. So they were like, you're going to do this for the play. And I was like, no. I was like, yeah, sure. And I was super scared and nervous. But when I went out on the stage, I'm like 5 or 6 years old, having this long role, like play. And I killed it. And I've never killed something before in my life, like to this extent. And I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with being on stage and the cheers and the applause. And I was really good at learning lines. Like my memory, I always had like a photographic memory. So it just came so naturally. And then for me, it was the ability to be somebody else. Like for a little bit of time, I could study this person and I cannot be me. And it just felt good. I think it was like a way to experience being free, where I didn't have to be me. I didn't have to be the person that I am in this situation. I could literally be whatever character I wanted to be. And as a person who loves books, I love to escape and to a different reality and to somewhere else where I'm just not stuck into the life that I was in. Especially as a child, you know, you can't really decide where you go and where you move. So it was a way to escape. At first, it was just started with books, and then next thing I know, I'm out on stage, and it just developed from there. And I just became really good at being somebody else.
What characters have you enjoyed playing?
Oh my gosh, my favorite character was from Death of a Salesman. Mrs. Oh God, I can't remember her name. Mrs. Somebody, and I had a picture still up. I had gray hair, and I was like an old church lady. And oh my God, that was like my favorite character ever. Like the most fun to play. Playing it was like just the most fun I ever had. It was my first college performance, my first college play, and I killed it. Everyone loved me. Everyone still talks about it to this day. So I just loved it. Like that was my favorite. The most difficult one though was like, have you ever seen the play Waiting for Godot?
Waiting for who?
Godot.
Godot?
Mm-hmm. It's like waiting for God in a way. That play was like the most hardest play I ever did in my life. It's a play about nothing, about people sitting around, these people doing around nothing. And the lines are so long and it doesn't even make sense. It's crazy, but it's like spiritual and it's absurdist. It's absurdist theater. You really have to get where the writer was going with it. But that was the hardest thing I ever had to do. It was like slapstick comedy, which is like Three Stooges type, but it's still a little darker. It's like Three Stooges, but kind of darker.
Darker high.
hardest thing I ever done. Because it's about waiting for Godot is waiting for God, somebody to come to save them from the situation that they're in, and somebody that never shows up. But every day they sit out there and they wait and they wait and they try to entertain themselves while they wait, and then they go back to waiting, and it's just waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen that never happens. The whole play is about waiting, and it builds up to nothing because nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens, and I think, well, I guess that's the whole meaning of the play. So, but it was difficult. It was not like fun, like woo! It was just hard. And I was a man too, so that was hard. It was different playing a man. That was different. Every play I've done, I've received an awards. I've received the SCTC nominations for every production. Like there hasn't been like one since I've been in college. Like I've always gotten a award for my, no matter what play I'm in, no matter what happened. Even when I was just a stage manager, I got an award for being a stage manager for the production. And that's just like how much I love the theater and love doing what I do. Like it's just so natural, I guess. It's really just natural. And like you say, it really came from my trials and tribulation. It was built. This whole actress thing was built. I know, where is this pizza? It was built from that. When you know how you're just good at something, and so I'm good at it, and I've always loved it. I was a preschool teacher and a massage therapist. I went to school for massage therapy. I wanted to have my own massage therapy business, and I was just like, this is great, but this is not what I love doing. So I always wanted to get a bachelor's degree. I always did, and originally I went for biology because I was in school for biology then. And then I was like, that's not what I love. I just don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. And then I went for doing what I actually want to do. And that made me challenge everything. It made me challenge my upbringing, my parents, my religion, who I am as a person, what the school system were, what blacks were. Like it just going to college for me, it just opened my mind up to things I never even thought, one, that I could do, things that I never would learn, things that I experienced, like just, I would never thought I was in ballet. Me as like an older, like I never thought I would be doing ballet. Like just the things that I got to do, and that itself, trying to live my dream, is what opened my mind. Not theater itself, but wanting to live my dream and do the things that I wanted to do. Open my mind to everything else.
How important is it to believe in yourself and invest in yourself in any aspect of life?
It's the most crucial thing, because if you don't believe it, it's just your reality. It's your world, literally. It's your perception of the world. And if your perception of the world is skewed negatively, then that's how your life is going to be in your head. So negative, it's going to be dark, it's going to be gloom, because that's what you see. That's how you perceive it. And if you see yourself as something negative, which I have plenty of times before, I haven't been as confident as I am. Even though I really learned now, I have no reason to feel low or have low self-esteem. Then you can't tell me like, I hated myself. I hated everything. I hated the world. I hated life. I just hated everything. Like whatever it was, I hated it. And I didn't realize it was just because I hated myself. And when you have that confidence in yourself, it just makes the world better. When you start investing, when I start investing in myself, what did I want? What did I, as a person, want? I started to lose more weight because it was just a healthy lifestyle that I was living. I gained more friends just because I was more positive and I was more accepting. I never knew that it was my personality that was pushing people away, that it was the way I felt about myself that made them feel that way about me. So now it's positive everything. I just put positivity into my girls. I say that like the most positive things, because when I was raised, all I heard was negative things, bad things, what I was going to be. And so now I speak the exact opposite into them. And now I can see the way they flourish, the way their skin is now just brighter just from me, from the things that I say. It just makes a difference. It makes a difference. Caring about you, because you should be your number one concern in this world, because it's your world. It is literally your life. Nobody else is going to live it. Nobody else can control it. Nobody else can tell you how to feel. Nobody else went through your shoes. It's all about you. You are center stage of your own world, and all the cliches start just making sense. Every cliche I ever heard, it was like, oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, it's like Yeah, and it's like they say, it's so cliche, but believing in yourself just sets the stage for everything else. And
what is Donshalistics LLC?
Don's holistic. Holistic medicine, meaning things that are natural remedies to fix ailments that you normally have, whether it's a headache, depression, anxiety, things, just spiritual barriers. Because I study massage therapy, learn holistic medicine. I've been loving aromatherapy, and I'm just learning more about holistic medicine. I love herbs. I'm learning the things that food can do, and the things that we just haven't even tapped into holistically, that doesn't involve the chemicals and the government things, whatever the hell else they got. I just feel like there's just a homeopathic way to deal with things, whether it's your cramps, just any ailments. I just feel like there's just a holistic way to solve it. Right now, the focus, I'm doing a medical spa, for women that, people have little weight loss issues. It's and I do massage therapy because touch therapy always is just good. Essential oils. I want to do candles. I want to make my own crystals. These are things that I want.
Aromatherapy business, or aromatherapy, being a part of that period. That's fantastic. Especially to make me use that word. I appreciate you, though.
Talk to you another time. This was great. This was fun.
All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you. See you later.
Okay.
Oh, serve him. As in serve your man. Let me tell you something, Elden. Okay? I am not serving Dr. Huxtable. Okay? That's something that you do at a restaurant. Now, I'm going to bring Dr. Huxtable a cup of coffee just like he brought me a cup of coffee this morning, and that's what goes on in a marriage. Give and take is 50-50, and if you don't